Yeah, we're going to do a little video on Roger's Machine Shop here today, and we call this Roger's Freestyle Machine Shop. We hate rules and rulers of all kinds. So anyway, let me get a hold of the camera here and we'll see what's going on here. Of course, every good machine shop's got to have some Wilton Vices, and there's a 5-inch. There's my 7 horsepower air compressor. Got 3-phase here at the shop. Here at the door, guarding the door, we got a 4-foot blacksmith cone and a 3-foot blacksmith cone. And of course, one of the most important things in this shop are the chairs. This is where we just hang out and do whatever. There's where the head man sits, and that kind of describes me: engineering, administration, safety, environmental, and there's a steam whistle. I think that's a 2-inch thing. That's a 6-inch whistle. It's got a 2-inch inlet. It's pretty loud. And there's a motorcycle that I built. There's my cannonball safe. Here's a little Schaublin Swiss watchmaker's lathe that I just acquired. I'm going to save it, and when I go to the old folks' home, I'm going to take it with me and make some chips and have some fun. You can see it came with quite a few attachments. I'm not sure what I'm missing, but I got more stuff than I know how to use. Got the milling attachment and the grinder and the chucks, different chucks, face plates, and got the little steady rest and different things. They're quite a nice machine. This one's probably from the early 50s or late 40s. It's got the overhead thing to run the milling machine and the grinder and so forth. Here's some of the tooling that came with it. Got all the collets and the little grinders and the grinding wheels and all that stuff. So that's my schaublin. I tell you, one of the handiest things is that little hydraulic cart there that you can raise stuff and lower it and use it to work on. I really have enjoyed that. Here's a little stainless steel cannon that I built. It's works pretty good. Stainless is not one of my favorite things to play with, but so we'll go up one side and back down the other. And the shop is about 60 feet long and about 14 feet wide. And see some of the junk we got. There's an old crucible up there and a fireman's sand bucket and different things. There's a 26 Indian motorcycle engine. It's all complete and ready to run. Got compression, got spark. I've never cranked it up, but I have no doubt that'll run. 1920 Economy, all original. Had that for quite a few years. It's on a little table that used to be an air compressor. You can see where the tank went through underneath the tabletop around in the round things, and so we've made a table out of it and roll it around. Everything in my shop just about's got wheels on it. It says United States air compressor. on it. Here's a little project we did last winter. Got that little engine there from Billy Lane, and he had it in his shop and wasn't using it, and it was kind of rough. The valves were stuck on it. We took it apart and put it back together, put that manifold on it, made the air cleaners, and built a little stand for it, and it runs, and there's a video on it there. There's a ship's bell right there, 1898 ship's bell. Some of my tooling and different things that we use here in the shop. There's some sheet metal stakes. I've got a pretty big collection of those things. I've got several more of those around the shop, different places. There's one of the most important things in the shop there is the summer times get pretty ugly here. There's a old hog splitter. That's an original out of Iowa. And there's a sugar cane mill sign. I have a sugar cane mill and a old engine that I run it with. There's some more of my sheet metal stakes. There's a couple more down there. There's a workbench and another Wilton Vice. And of course workbenches, as everybody knows, become shelves. And that's same thing. Everybody's got a welder. I'm not a TIG welder, but I can do a little MIG welding. There's my Supermax milling machine. I really like that. It's a nice big machine. It's got the frequency drive on it. Doesn't want to focus on it. But anyway, that's the automation direct frequency drive. I have 3-phase and I use that for speed control. And I got the mill set at 1750 on the belts, and between the frequency drive and the back gears I can do just about anything I need to do with it. And so I enjoy that quite a bit. I use that a lot. That's a nice little working mill. And going back down the other side, I have a Greenard arbor press, an old Greenard arbor press, 1901 broaching press. There's a Champion drill press, flat belt drive. You can put, it takes a number 4 Morris taper, so you can put pretty good sized drills in it, and it does a good job. There's a Ellis miter saw, cold saw, and that's a wonderful machine. Got an old Rockwell sander. Got my Dual band saw. Everything works and runs good with it. As you can see, rust is always a problem. In Florida, it starts out here at Daytona Beach, it starts out at 100% every day humidity, and some days it doesn't get much better, and then when you get a big temperature change, I've even seen the concrete floor in here sweat with water on it. So it's a problem, but we try to keep at it and keep it under control. Another belt sander. I just got this machine here, this little Hardinge TR-59, World War II. Got Navy tags on it, numbers, and it's got an anchor in the serial number, so it was, I'm pretty sure, made for the Navy during World War II. And it's got the collet closer, and it's a very nice machine. I had to do a little work on the cross slide to take some of the chatter out, but it runs really nice now. And we've got the collets for it. I use that for collets. My Rockwell doesn't take collets. So here's the Harding UM horizontal mill. It came with the vertical head, but did not come with the horizontal part. So I made that out of some stuff I had laying around the shop. Made the arbor and the overarm support and all that stuff. Man, that thing works nice. If you want to mill out some metal with that, it just does it, and it doesn't make any noise. It doesn't make a mess. It just does the work. And so I really like the little horizontal milling deal. And we have, of course, a Bridgeport. Mainly use that for drilling. So some of the junk I've accumulated. Little roll around table there with a surface plate and a big magnetic chuck on it that I use to sometimes to set up stuff and lay stuff out. Drill press, hardly ever use the drill press. Got a Rockwell surface grinder. There's some of the cannons that I made. There's a yacht cannon, 8-gauge yacht cannon, 1890s, golf ball mortar. There's a little 7-cylinder radial. I think they call that a Jenna. A friend of mine built, and he built most of that on a Shearline lathe. When he was in his motorhome, he'd take that Shearline with him and sit there and whittle out parts with it. So those little Shearlines aren't that bad a little outfit. Here's my Rockwell 14-inch Rockwell. I had that 13-inch South Bend, but I think this is like 10 times better machine. In the back, there's a 1920 Indian Power Plus. There's a 1916 Indian Power Plus. Steam engine governor, piece of an old Sportster and part of a pan head, some old Mercury cylinder heads. There's an anvil from probably from the 1700s. I'd call that a colonial mouse hole anvil, and it's got some character. I've bought and sold quite a few anvils. That's the only one I've really kept. There's my overhead crane that I use to lift stuff with. It swings around. It does a nice job. Some of my junk. Another little Wilton Vice. That one's got a 1945 date on the inside, which tell me that it's about built in 1941. There's a little Shearline lathe. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we got here, and hope you enjoyed the video. I'm very lucky to have this shop and everything in it, which I've accumulated and upgraded over many years. And so don't be afraid to leave some comments, either good, bad, or indifferent. We're always grateful. Thanks for watching.